Hey guys, what's going on? Bio here today, making another one of these videos, and honestly, it's starting to kind of grow on me. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit about mindsets and things like that, and I really just want to start off and kind of say, like, the way my mindset has been so far is I've been playing with a lot of IRL friends recently. So I'd wake up, play a private World of Warcraft server, which I'll probably put gameplay up of. It's called Ascension. It's really sick, actually. I really do recommend people go and check that out. But I wake up, I get ready for the day, etc. Play WoW with my friends for literally like 8 or 9 hours a day. Like it's an addiction at this point. That's something else too. And then I'll like watch YouTube and just chat with friends, and that's literally like most of my day right now. And the job I work is actually pretty seasonal, so I'm pretty much done with work, so I can actually start focusing on content creation again. So that's really my current mindset. And that's a really bad mindset to have, right? Especially when you're in the sphere of content creation. And what I mean by this is it's like when you're doing content creation, it is your business, if that's the right way to describe it. Essentially, the way I like to the way I look at it, and again, it's like analytical brain here, is growing your channel, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. It's really a business, and you don't have to treat it as such when you're first starting out and when you're making money. It's like, yeah, maybe you should start treating it then. But I really think that looking at content creation like a business can help you improve vastly, rapidly, knowing what you're doing wrong, what your target audience is, etc. And I really look at it like that. So any day that I'm not really like doing something related to my YouTube is like sort of like a day off, right? A day off. And it's not really something that I think a lot of people really do unless they make money. I treat it that way right now just because I do enjoy doing it. There isn't a whole lot I don't like doing about it, but it really kind of grounds me and puts it into perspective, like, oh, this video didn't do so well, so what can I do to improve it, right? Like, I'd never just upload a video style, it does poorly, and I'd stop doing it. Maybe over the course of a few months, and then I'd change something about it, etc., right? But yeah, I think it's really important to sort of ground yourself and figure out how you're going to ground it. And so that's part of one of the ways to break a bad mindset is ground yourself and find a way to stick to like actual reality of the situation. Something else that helped me out a lot, especially last year around July, August, October, September stuff, is create a schedule. Honestly, I streamed from July 12th to December 9th, I believe, right? Let me think. Whenever the new Destiny 2 expansion came out, I streamed every day a minimum of 2 hours a day, right? And oh, that's like casual gaming time, whatever, you can say that. But it's like that's something that you really have to do is when you want to change your mindset, you have to really look at it and treat it again like a business, because when every day you're not working on your own business, you're not really growing too much. And there is a threshold where eventually you'll hit a passive growth point. Like especially on my YouTube, I recently hit a sort of area where I can like not upload for two or 3 weeks at a time and still get some passive growth. And I'm really lucky that I've gotten to that point as fast as I did. Like for those of you who don't know, I've only been doing YouTube for about a year and a half now. And so I again, I'm really blessed. Like some of my IRL friends have been doing YouTube for 10 years, and like they recently, not really recently, but they blew up, right? Like they're in the hundreds of thousands of subs now. And again, anytime I talk with them about like YouTube or content creation in general, they're like, "Oh yeah, don't focus on the metrics too much, the analytics." And it's like that's that is me. I am a very analytical person. I like to analyze. I like to break apart. I like to really compartmentalize like what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. Conquer and divide, sort of divide and conquer style thing, right? And so Scheduling is really an important part about that. I find it really hard to stick to schedules. Again, that goes into a little bit of like some mental health problems I have and things like that. But I don't really like using that stuff as crutches. So again, you want to schedule yourself, and nothing can ever beat this. But doing anything is always better than doing nothing. Even if it's like tweeting out for like tweeting something for a day, or interacting with your community, or talking on like a Reddit that's in the same sort of content sphere that you are, or streaming for like 10-20 minutes a day. Like that is something. Something is not nothing, right? And I feel like if you are doing something, you are at least contributing in some way to sort of really push your content forward in that regard. And I think that's really important, especially when it comes to content creation, right? And something that a lot of people really take for granted is having like friends who are able to be like, hey, you're streaming today, or hey, get on stream. You know, some people need those constant reminders. I'm probably one of those people. However, I hold myself to those constant reminders. It might be an unhealthy mindset. It's a really gray line, but you should kind of feel bad. Maybe is the right way to talk about it. Like, I feel bad whenever I'm not making a video. When I'm 2-3 weeks behind on my videos and all that, I feel bad. And I really, again, that could be a little bit interpreted as an unhealthy mindset. You know, I'm kind of used to that mindset. So that's just what works for me, and that's really important. Things that work for me might not work for you. It's something you really have to go and experiment with, right? Experimentation is the key to getting a better mindset and getting better at any sort of thing you are doing. And so now I kind of want to take a look at some of the like competitive gamers who have phenomenal mindsets, and you can see over the course of like 10 years how their mindsets have either stayed the same or changed. And first I want to talk about Rapha a little bit. Rapha is one of those individuals who eats, sleeps, and breathes Quake, essentially. And he also makes time for family and his religious beliefs and all that. And I think Rapha is probably the prime example of someone with a very disciplined, good mindset, where Rapha isn't, he is focused on winning. He's very passionate about what he does, but he wants to improve, and he wants to help others improve. And it's something that a lot of people can learn from within the competitive gaming scene from Rapha. And it's a real big shame that he doesn't really compete in other like really top games. And that's not like a diss at him or whatever. That's just like, you know, he could do good at, I think, any game he really put his mindset to, unlike some other people within other pro games, whether it's Quake, League, StarCraft, Fortnite, whatever, right? Like anyone, not everyone that is professional in the game they play can go to other games and play professional. So Rapha has a really good mindset about all of that. And something that you have to do to sort of break bad mindsets as well is you have to really remove as many physical distractions and mental distractions as you can, right? That's possible. Like, I'm not saying if you want to go into content creation, you should quit your job and start making content 12 hours a day. No, don't fucking do that. That's stupid. That guy who quit his $100,000 a year job is a goddamn fucking idiot. Who the fuck would ever think that's a good idea? Oh, Jake Paul makes $3 million. I only make 100,000. Oh, it's like, no, shut the fuck up. You got a good job. Most people in America don't have that type of job. So don't ever do that. I feel like that's such a bad idea. And I'm living proof. I think that is a bad idea. Where when Quake Champions came out, I removed all my friends. You know, I messaged them. I was like, hey, I'm going to be playing Quake Champions for a year. That's the time limit I'm going to set. If I don't make it pro, then I'm going to stop playing. And that's pretty much what happened, right? Like, for me, I made it pretty damn far in a year compared to most people who have been playing Quake for 5-10 years. I'm not 25, because no one really does that. They're probably too fucking old too. But anyways, yeah, I think that's like very unhealthy, and I could never recommend it. However, that's something that works for me, especially more so than other people, where I will put in the time, effort, and dedication until I get what I want. And that year goal was mostly because at the time, again, it's kind of really hard to sort of go to school, money issues, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to talk about that. So I was just like, okay, if I can do this and I can make something out of it, then I'll keep doing it. Unfortunately, a year did not happen. So moving on from that. So that's another really big thing I want to talk about is make sure you're staying healthy, right? When I was competing in Quake, I've always like had weight issues, right? For probably 5 years now. So, yeah, probably since I was like 13, 14, 15. So yeah, like 5, 6, 7 years. Damn, actually it's been 10 years, almost 10 years. Jesus Christ, time flies. But you need to stay healthy. And when I was competing in Quake, I was probably the slimmest I've ever been. I was probably at like 190, which is still considered overweight, slightly overweight, but that was way healthier than what I used to be in high school, which was like 250, 260. And I'm only like 5'9", so that is like morbidly obese or whatever, right? And so I think that's really important is you just stay healthy, you get ahead of the issues that you currently have, right? Like I know seasonal depression is a big thing. It affects me, unfortunately, probably starting from June to probably February is when I experienced the worst of like seasonal depression, which I mean, at that point, it's probably a little bit more than seasonal depression. But what I'm trying to say is just get ahead of it, right? If you're constantly doing something, if you're working out, if you're playing sports or talking with friends or whatever, just make sure you're being physically active, you're eating right, you're allotting time for other things and not just letting it consume your life. Because when it consumes your life, you're going to have a really rough time wanting to continue forward and all that. And unfortunately, that was also something that hit me with Quake Champions, was when I was playing Quake, a lot of other people had like day jobs and all that. I did not have a day job. And so my practice from Quake came from queuing duel for sitting in duel queues for hours at a time, getting in practice, playing sacrifice pugs, playing team deathmatch, all of that, until like around like 5, 6 o'clock, and then I just duel for hours on end. So while I wasn't dueling for like 12 hours a day, I was playing Quake for probably 12 hours a day in general. And a lot of people don't realize that that is like kind of unhealthy, right? Especially when you have like family and a school and all that to consider. I didn't have school or work, so that's good, but I did have like family obligations and all that. So how am I going to actually go and change my mindset to sort of really reflect the values that I've spoken to you guys today? And I don't want to be a super hypocrite about it, but I do want to start putting out content more and more, and not worrying too much about the analytics, because that was also something I had a really big problem with on YouTube and Twitch, where I would just get wrapped up and absorbed in every upload I did. And now I'm a little bit more lax about it. But and I'm not saying don't care, because if you don't care, you're not going to really improve. You want to be wanting to improve. You just can't get wrapped up in the numbers and all that. So some of the things, again, I'm going to be doing that I talked about today, I'm going to be removing as many distractions as I can, right? I'm not going to completely cut my friends out, but I am going to limit the amount of interactive time I have with them, because I don't think it's healthy spending 8 hours a day in Discord with your friends, right? No person in the real adult world spends 8 hours a day with their friends. It's just unhealthy. Like, you have to do more. And again, like if you're working out with your friends or you're in the gym with your friends, like I feel like that's a little different than just sitting online and talking to them. And I'm sure, sure, people have different opinions and ideas about this. This is just stuff that works for me. I cannot stress that enough, to where this is what works for me. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing to really sort of get out of this little slump I'm in. Something else I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be setting a schedule, maybe not so much for YouTube, but I am going to start probably streaming on Twitch every day, regardless of if it's 10 minutes, 2 hours. That's something I need to really break the habit that I'm in of, if it's better to do nothing than something. That is such a terrible idea and mindset to have, right? It's like, think about it like this. It's easier to dedicate smaller amounts of times to things and do it over longer periods than it is to dedicate 8 hours a day starting off and doing it for a lot less of a time, right? I think, you know, I've gotten a lot older. Like, I'm no longer 16. I can't just stay up 3 days in a row to play Counter-Strike or Quake or whatever it may be. True story, by the way. And so that's one of the other things. And again, schedule, remove distractions, and I'm just going to stay healthy, right? I'm going to start working out more. I've actually been going to physical therapy a lot because I have some really fucked up feet. I know it's like probably something that a lot of people don't have to deal with, but I have some really bad issues regarding my feet, and physical therapy is one of the steps to kind of help it. Next step will end up, unfortunately, having to be surgery if physical therapy doesn't help. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So anyways, that's kind of the channel update. Again, and I also want to say thank you, all the new subscribers. Seriously, we've gone up, what, 40, 50 subs within the past 3 months? Something like that. And that's fantastic. That's phenomenal. We're going to be hitting the 1,000 channel milestone soon, 1,000 subs. And I think that's really fucking cool. And I don't know what I'm going to do for my 500 sub special. We're almost out of 500 subs. I didn't even get to do anything because I've been such a, like in a bad state. I did want to do like a Q&A. I thought of that, but you know, the more I think about doing a Q&A, the more I think of, like, that's not just, like, what are you guys going to ask me? What color my shit is when I poop? Like, again. But, so yeah, thank you for all the new subscribers, the support I've gotten, everyone that's joined the Discord and been active in the community. Again, I live to make other people happy, right? Whether it's through my shitty jokes that no one laughs at, or whether it's through just making a complete idiot of myself. Like, I just love, hello webcam, I just love entertaining others and making other people feel like they're on top of the universe. And I think that's something that can be used more so today than what people give that credit for. So again, thank you all the new subs. Subscribe to the channel. I don't say that often, but big things are coming, guys. Seriously, I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are absolutely fucking amazing. Until next time, guys. Peace.